Alrighty guys, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic at the Gathering Arena draft video. This time let's do a sealed, since some of you do want to practice for the upcoming sealed event on the 20th and the 21st. I think we're going to do a sealed. I believe the first day we do have a choice between best out of 1 and best out of 3. Both of them you do need to get the max wins. The second day, I believe it's only best out of 1. And all you need was, I think, like 5 wins or something. I forgot. But I know for sure you have an option between these two. And I feel like we're going to do a best out of 3 to make things a lot more fair. So sideboards do matter. So I'm going to kind of give you guys... sorry, this is draft. What am I doing? Traditional sealed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to assist you guys with building a sealed deck and what you guys need to know. So let's begin. And yeah, usually I don't really care too much about the rares I open when I first begin the sealed deck because I just like to sort everything by color, usually by Wooburg. Separate everything by color, so like white, blue, black, red, and green, and then I just kind of I figure out, you know, what the curve looks like, what the creature curve looks like, and what the non-creature spells we have in each color. But for now, let's open the sealed pool and hopefully we get something good and lucky. If not, then we're just really unlucky. And yeah, not a bad rare to open, the Seeker's Chariot. The land is a little bit disappointing, but could enable a splash if one of these is our secondary color. There's a Battle for Bredegard, which has some nice synergy. Seeker's Chariot. Usually this card is not that amazing because once you make the first and the second chapter, you are only going to make a copy of the Human Warrior token, the Elf Warrior token, but when you do have a different token type being the cat, this can make the cat. But of course, this needs to be on the battlefield before the Battle for Bredegard to enable it, and this also needs to be in the third chapter, so might not be that easy. There's a Blessing of the Frost. If we do pick up enough Snowlands, this can be pretty amazing, especially if you can just draw you a bunch of cards. And you can just grow your creature. So this card can be a pretty insane card in a sealed if you do pick up enough Snowlands. And then there's another path. There's another dual-faced land, which could maybe allow some splashing and fixing and maybe go 3 or 4 colors. And then there's a Cosmos Charger as a nice top-end card. A nice... it's more of a mid-range card since it's at 4 mana. But it's pretty nice since it has the versatility of allowing you to foretell cards on any turn, and also reduce the cost, and also serve as a 3/3 flyer. But keep in mind, you can't foretell and cast a card in the same turn. Foretelling is the ability, it's not the casting. So keep that in mind. So let's hit the continue button and see what our color pools kind of dictate where we want to be. So let's see. So yeah, again, first thing I like to do, even like a paper sealed, I like to separate everything by color, and luckily the AI has done everything for us. So let's begin with white. What do we have with whites? We have a nice snow-covered plains, but usually white doesn't care about snow-covered plains, and we do see some decent early game. 1 Cold Spell Cleric, double Usher to Fulton can be nice if we want to set up some sort of white aggressive tokens game plan, which we did see the Battle for Bredegard and the Seeker's Chariot dictating. Not a big fan of Valor, but could be playable. Divine Gambit's not the most amazing efficient removal. Revitalize is not really that impactful. We do see another good 2-drop Story Seeker, so some decent early game already. Looking at the mid game, we do see 2 4/3 drops, which are kind of decent. Battlefield Warrior can maybe pump the whole team for a go-wide game plan. Doomscar Oracle is medium, but pretty decent, can help stabilize your life in a race. Invoke the Divine, fine sideboard card, especially in best out of 3, which we're doing. Usually these go up in value since they're longer grindier matchups, and there are a lot of powerful bomb enchantments and rares. Artifacts running around. Double Courser gives a little bit of evasion, and then if we are able to loop back Sagas with Master Skull, that's quite excellent. And in our pool we did see the Chariot, so that's also a pretty decent card to loop back. And double Warhorn Blast, since if we're going to go very high, it can be quite nice, but we do have the Battle Shield Warrior, which is a kind of a built-in pump effect already. God's Hall Guardian, not the most exciting in the white-green go-wide deck, but could be serviceable. So white doesn't look too bad, so what I like to do is, again, I like to bring out the creatures and just separate them by curve. And as you can see, the curve does not look very bad. Like, it white could easily be kind of our basis, our primary color, so to speak, for some sort of aggressive game plan, which is what white is mostly trying to do in this set anyways. But overall, looking at white's non-creature spells, they aren't looking amazing. There's an Invoke the Divine for the side for like as a best out of 3, something that you don't really necessarily want to main deck in the first matchup. And then you do have a Warhorn Blast. I guess I don't mind a copy if I'm going wide, so one copy could also make the cut and be serviceable. But overall, like it has the decent creature quality for a nice early game, a decent mid game. The late game not as fantastic, but could also be okay. But overall, the secondary quality, I mean the non-creature spell quality is not very high, so it just doesn't have any amazing interaction, no ways to garner card advantage. So white is fine, but it can easily also just be a secondary color and might not be as impressive unless we find a secondary color that is better and has amazing synergy with white. So white does not seem unplayable by any means. Looking at blue, we have a snow-covered island, double bind the monster. Usually I don't like having 2 copies of bind the monster since you're going to take some damage, but if you do have some life gain, or it can be fine. But for now, I guess if we need removal, you need removal, so I would actually main deck 2 copies in a limited deck anyway, since if I'm running 40 cards, there's a chance I don't draw my second copy, and it's not going to be too impactful, and it does increase my chances of getting at least the first one. There's a Depart the Realm, which is pretty decent too. Double Disdainful Stroke. I usually don't like 2 copies, but again, it depends on the type of matchup, and usually Sealed Disdainful Stroke gets a little bit better, so 2 copies can actually be main deckable depending on the after the first matchup. Double Carful Harbinger, not amazing. I usually like only 1 copy of this, but can be an early serviceable ground blocker, or ways to ramp out some expensive instances or sorceries, or foretell cards. So this is fine. Draugr Thought Thief is kind of filler. Mistwalker, good common, can help provide us some evasion in the mid to late game to help us close out. Same with the Cosmos Charger. Kitten Seekers is a fine ground blocker, nothing exciting. And then we do have a Run Ashore as a fine top-end interaction spell, which does play well with the Carful Harbinger. But overall better in a much more aggressive tempo-oriented deck where you can curve out with a wide variety of creatures and then finish the game by bouncing everything back. So pretty good with aggressive game plan. And that's basically our blue card. So the blue quality is not looking very deep. It does have some decent interaction spells with Double Bind, Depart the Realm, Disdainful Stroke, and Run Ashore. It's not by any means playables, and it also have 2 decent flyers. Overall, the other 2 creatures aren't great. So I guess if the primary color is more creature-heavy focused and has a lot of playables, I mean, blue can still be a secondary color. But for the most part, it's just not very deep, so it doesn't have a high chance of making the cut, and there's just not too many playables in blue. So I feel like blue can either be hit or miss, but we could also maybe splash for Cosmos Charger if we need an extra flyer, or maybe Depart the Realm or Bind the Monster. But overall, blue seems a little bit worse than white, so not sure. Looking at black, Duskwielder I don't really like unless I'm in an aggressive aggro deck. Death Knell Berserker is fine, same with Elderfang Disciple, so some decent early game. Black is, however, the worst color in the set, but usually in Sealed it can be alright, since again it's a much more slower, grindier format, and usually more late game oriented colors have some more upside, but overall black is still the worst. There's a Priest of the Haunted Hedge if I have enough Snowlands. Not sure if I have enough to warrant this though, but in the right Sultai Snow type of deck, this can be fine. Wooder Crown is not amazing removal. It's serviceable, but pretty bad, since the opponent can either grow the creature, or if the creature still has an activated ability, usually having the opponent lose 1 life is not too relevant unless you're hyper aggressive. There's a Faithful, which is fine. Dogged Pursuit is terrible. Double Draugr Recruiter, fine card, but overrated since the boast cost is a lot. So you're mostly just going to get 1 activation out of this, usually, and then it's just going to die. But can be serviceable if you're playing multiple bombs. Draw the Forsaken is fine. This is like the best card I've seen so far, just a Vengeful Reaper. Then there's a card for Kennelmaster, which is very okay. Return upon the Tides, which reward you with playing elves, and we do have a bit of them. And then Turgid Shadow, which it's only going to play well if you have lots of mediocre creatures to sacrifice. So black, even though it has like a higher amount of playables than blue, is still, the quality is just not looking super amazing. No Feed the Swarms, no just no great removal in general. And the creature quality does look a lot worse than white's. It has more creatures than blue, but it's still not a color that I considered primary unless the pool is really that bad. We are forced to play black, so unfortunately black doesn't seem very good. Looking at red, we do see a Fearless Pup, which is fine. Tormentor's Helm for aggressive deck. Same with Run Amok. Double Dwarven Hammer is quite nice, so nice weapon, and we can even splash this if we can, so we can keep the weapon portion and also make a 5/1. Craven Hook is fine. Double Dwarven Reinforcement. So red usually is a much more aggressive color, and it pairs the best with white and black in this set, since they kind of want to be aggressive too. But overall, the early game is kind of lacking, so unless we find a color with decent early game, then red doesn't look amazing by any means. And white did seem to have a better early game, so we could consider looking at white first, combine it with red to see how well the deck fares out. But overall, there's really nothing too impressive. There's one Squash, which is going to be the only removal spell if we end up in white, red, and then a Cinderheart Giant, which even in aggro deck you don't want to cast. So red is also looking pretty bad, so the seal pool looks pretty abysmal right now. White just looks like the best color, and blue actually looks better than black and red. And then at green, we do see a fine card. Snakeskin Veil can be a fine way to protect yourself from removal. Wouldn't mind a copy of Mass Vandal as a fine ground blocker, or a way to deal with problematic artifacts or enchantments in the set. Path can maybe allow some 5-color shenanigans, but it's usually too difficult to enable unless you can pick up the right lands and sealed. Roots is kind of unplayable. Broken Wings can be main deckable. There's a Glittering Frost, which can enable some fixing. Horizon Seeker, which is a fine 3-drop. Blessing, which rewards you for playing lots of snow lands, depending on how much you have. Elderleaf Mentor is okay, and then we have our nice bomb, Asika's Chariots, which is excellent. Wolfpack is excellent, and Struggle for Skremfar is excellent. So green is also has some good cards, but overall, again, doesn't have too many creatures or a resemblance of an amazing curve. So overall, this seal pool is not amazing, but we usually, and most of these colors are kind of just going to be like, most of our colors in this pool, if not all of them, are kind of like situated as a secondary color. So it's going to be hard to dictate what our primary color is, but we can, if we mash 2 secondary colors together, usually we can come up with something. And then we should also take a look at what we have for fixing. We have the Hedge Pathway, the Ice Tunnel, the Sulphurous Mine. There's a Carter's Vicious Return we could potentially splash for if we have enough ways to sacrifice things. This is also decent splash land. And then again, we have to take a look at our multicolor cards. So let me take the dual lands out of the way first, and then take a look at the multicolor cards to maybe if our single color commons and uncommons, which usually are what's going to make up the bulk of your seal pool. If it isn't amazing, sometimes you just want to take a look at your multicolor spells to see where you want to end up. And then look at our multicolor spells, we do see Agar the Freezing Flames, which can reward us with giants. And I'm not just talking about shapeshifters, but giants that actually have a lot of high power and potentially high toughness to maybe enable Agar. So do we have any good giants? In green, we don't really have any. I mean, there's a Mass Vandal, but it doesn't do anything. I guess we do have one copy of Cinderheart Giant and Craven Hulk, but overall, the rest of the red quality doesn't... I guess we have a Squash that has synergy too, but the rest of the red quality pool is not great. And in blue, we also have a Mistwalker and the Litkin Seeker, but also nothing gigantic in no insanely large giants. So unfortunately, yeah, it doesn't. I don't think. Yeah, the white black doesn't support giants. So I highly doubt we're going to even be splashing ARG, or if it's even be playable, because again, blue and red is just looking very lackluster in terms of playable. If we put them together, we're probably not even going to have enough creatures in the deck. So unfortunately, Agar is not going to make it. Carter's Vicious Return. What do we think about this? If we're going to be playing in green, it's going to be a splash color. We do see... I also forgot to mention when I was looking at Agar, I should at least taken a look at the ways to splash it. Maybe in green we could have thrown in the Rimewood Falls. Maybe in black we could have thrown the Ice Tunnel. Maybe in white we could have thrown the Mistgate Pathway. But either way, like, most of our commons didn't really support the Giants theme. So either way, even if I had the ability to splash it, I don't even think it's worth it. Now a card like Carter's Vicious Return isn't too much of a requirement like Agar. So it could easily be maybe splash if we find enough lands to enable it. So what do we have to help splash for the Carter's Vicious Return? Maybe we end up in green-black or something, or one of these colors, and we can splash for black. Yeah, maybe if we end up green and something else, we can play this land to splash for it. And we do have a Glittering Frost, so both of these line up well. Same with the Path, but I guess Path only search for basic lands, but still improves the overall quality. There's a Sulphurous Mine, and I guess there's an Ice Tunnel. So, yeah, we do. But the question is, can we go black and red completely? And yeah, it's probably not going to look very good. There's just not a lot of removal that's amazing in black and red, and the creature quality just looks very poor if we combine everything together. Like, we will have a much better early game in red, but the late game is looking abysmal with like maybe a Cinderheart Giant, a couple of 4s, decent amount of 5s, some decent top end, but the removal is just looking terrible. So, I mean, this can be a fine removal spell, I guess, but it's most likely just going to be something that we're going to be interested in mostly splashing. And then there's a Skemfar Elderhall, which I don't really like splashing these lands unless I have like a ton of mana fixing for them. But overall, they're fine if you're in the respective colors. And yeah, I guess there's Swella, the Ice Shaper. Like, usually red-green is the type of archetype that wants to go completely multicolor. And in red-green, I mean, green is looking decent. Like, I can see myself actually having green as one of my primary or secondary colors, since there's some good cards in it, plus the Seeker's Chariot. But red is also looking quite abysmal. Like, red wants to be in a much more aggressive deck. If we're going to be playing a card like Swella, we want more grindier cards. We don't want cards that want to just attack early in the early game, like Pup. I guess we do have like a couple of cards here, but I guess like Doran Reinforcement wants to be an aggressive deck. I guess a Hammer we can always play in any deck. Same with Craven Hoke wants to be an aggressive deck. Squash, fine removal we can splash for, and then Cinderheart Giant makes the most sense. So, like, yeah, red-green. Red's also not looking deep. I do like white-green, though. We do see like the Predagard Stronghold and the Battle for Predagard, which can synergize quite nice with it. And yeah, looking at the pool, it seems like white has the most creatures out of this pool, and has the much more better resemblance of a curve that carries the early, mid, and a little bit of the late game. And also the Master Skald has a decent synergy too with the Battle for Predagard, being able to loop it back, and also can get back the Asika's Chariots. So white-green could also be, looks like our most promising color. In terms of blue-green with the Lejara Mirror Lake, again, blue is not looking too deep. Like, yeah, it's just not looking great. Like, the creature is just looking really poor. Like, we're just gonna have 3 creatures in blue. And then again, green, the quality of creatures is not very high too. I mean, there's a very few of them, but they're mostly just gonna be like filler creatures. We might even have to play these Scorn Effigies, and I'm unlucky to open 3 copies of these. And then like pick is playable. 3 Seasons, if I have enough Snowlands, is playable, and then I guess there's a Replicating Ring. So yeah, the quality of the pool is not very high. There's also an alternative route. We could just go 5 colors, which isn't crazy. Like, if we're going to be 5 colors, I guess the main color has to be green, since the most likely reason to be going 5 colors is to enable a card like Path of the World Tree, and yeah, to enable Path of the World Tree. But then we would need enough lands to do it. Can we do it? We have blue, white, black, red, blue. I guess we have blue and white here, so it's possible to maybe just go 5 colors. And I'm usually not a big fan of this strategy, but if we have to just enable the Path of the World Tree, and then therefore we'll just be splashing a bunch of cards in the meantime. And it's not going to be the easiest to. I guess we also have the Replicating Ring and Glittering Frost to enable it, so there's no problem with going 5 colors, I don't think. But for now, the most simple outline I think is going to be the white-green deck. So we're just going to put all the white cards and the green cards together and try to see how it looks like. And I can always carry one copy of Warhorn Blast since white-green is looking to mostly go wide with lots of tokens, and I could just play a random Guardians God's Hall since as a filler playable, and then we combine green together. I'm not a big fan of this card in an aggro deck, but is definitely serviceable. Not splashing in green-white since we're looking to go wide. I guess we can always play Snakeskin Veil, maybe a Broken Wings to combat Flowers. We're not really looking to ramp or splash with the Glittering Frost in green as well, so I don't really need it. How many filler snow cards can we play for the Blessing of the Frost Replicating Ring, but we're not ramping? I guess an Arctic Tree Line doesn't hurt. I guess we'll be playing Rimewood Falls, but overall, like, there's not really that many snowlands, so I don't think we'll be playing Blessing of Frost even in the green-white deck. I do like Elder Leaf Mentor on 4, Packmate, and then we also have the Struggle on 4. It looks like yeah, I guess we have the Asika's Chariot, so it's not looking that bad. And then this is the type of deck which could also leverage the King Herald's Revenge because we're playing a bunch of tokens. What's this? I guess this is a way to recur Elf, but it seems like a pretty bad incentive too. And then I guess we can even run like the Battle for Bredagard and maybe a Goldvein pick. And I guess this is 40 cards. So this doesn't actually look too bad, actually. This could be the most simple outline if we don't want to mess with the deck too much and go 5 colors. Because it's either the white-green go wide deck from looking at this pool, since everything looks pretty abysmal, or maybe some sort of green like play everything type of deck, which also looks very bad. So let's try the 5-color deck. I shouldn't be cutting the green, but I'm just gonna click everything as quickly as possible. So let's see, how's the 5-color deck gonna look like? We definitely need to play Rimewood Falls. I don't really like playing these, but I guess they're better than an island in a 5-color deck. Not sure. I think I'll just leave these out for now, the spell lands that is, because they don't seem very good. We'll be playing the Replicating Ring, maybe Goldvein pick. Yeah, these cards, I can leave them out. I think if we're gonna be 5-color, we want to base white. Green-red, since Swella can definitely can go 5 colors, since you can just add any snow artifacts. So definitely going to play Swella. Cardor, don't know about Agar, it doesn't seem good, even in our 5 colors deck. Struggle, Wolfpack is going to make it. I guess we're going to be playing a bunch of Snowlands. 1, 2, I guess it's Snow Mana 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess if we include Glittering Frost, it's 5. It's still not a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's probably not even a lot to enable the Blessing. Like the Blessing is really high hit or miss. Like you really need like lots of 4 power. We have this to splash for lands. Path. Path is the only reason why we are going 5 colors in the first place. Vandal can make the cut. And then looking at red, we can maybe splash the Squash. Maybe a copy of Dwarven Hammer. I mean, those are the only cards I'm even interested in remotely splashing for. In black, this is double black, so it's not going to be easy. Kennel Master is not an exciting splash. I guess the Vengeful Reaper is alright. Yeah, none of these black cards are even exciting to splash, so even if I go 5 colors, it's not looking good. I guess I can splash for the Charger, maybe the Mistwalker, maybe the Part the Realm, maybe, I guess Run Ashore is double blue. But if we go 5 colors, how many blue sources? I mean, I can't really. I think I have to be main green for sure, so at least I need to have 8 sources of green. I guess we can also like incorporate the snow-covered islands. And I guess this is also Snowlands, so I forgot to mention that, guys. Sorry. Snow-covered plains. I mean, like, none of these white cards even want to be splashed, honestly. These are cards that you really want to just curve out with on 1 and turn 2. You don't want to wait until turn 5 until you get like your splash color to play these cards. So 5 color is just looking really bad. Like even if we can go for it, it's just looking very terrible. Like there's barely any bombs. Like this, I mean, I think this sealed pool is just terrible in general. So honestly, I think we have to go for like white-green, go wide. and not overcomplicate anything, because this is kind of like example of a draft where you kind of have like a very bad sealed pool, and you just have to make all of your commons and uncommons work together. So I really think this is a type of deck that just wants to go wide. And I can even see Valor to Worry being played because it can make a 1/1 token, which white-green cares about. So Story Seeker, yeah, we can just play a creature-heavy deck without too much removal and try to win the game by just pumping the team and just smashing. I'll leave out the God's Hall Guardian for now because we didn't add the Valor last time, and this is pretty expensive, even if you can foretell this for 2. Yeah, I guess I'll play the Mass Vandal. Why not? Utility spells get better in limited. Could always main deck of Broken Wings, because we don't have too much defense against flyers and other artifacts or enchantments. King Hero's Revenge, again, is only going to be playable in this archetype. Yeah, it's not exciting, but it makes sense if we go for white-green, since we do have like the land to go with it, the battle to go with it, and then we can even throw in the Goldvein pick. Like, we at least have like a resemblance of like a decent curve and a couple of evasive threats. Overall, again, I think this could even just be 16 lands, some sort of aggro deck, because we're playing lots of 1-drops. So yeah, I think if we're going to be going white-green, we really need to just go 16 lands and just commit to this whole game plan. Because I don't think splashing is going to do anything with this pool. It just looks very terrible. Like, the last card I'm probably just going to include is a Warhorn Blast. The reason why is, again, we might need that extra pump trick, because we're going to be making lots of tokens. The Battle Shield Warrior will be already allowing us to give another Anthem effect in the deck as well. I don't need to main deck Invoke if I'm playing the Mass Vandal. This is better than more defensive deck anyways, if you need the extra life gain. We don't have a lot of 2s, but we do have a lot of early game cards that can like help us curve out. The 3s are looking pretty decent, and then a couple of 4s and double 5s. Yeah, this card is just not amazing too, unless you can loop back artifacts or enchantments, which we only care about looping back the Battle for Bredegard, so I could actually see myself cutting 1 copy of Master Scald. Like, there's a chance like the Cherry can even get exiled as well, but I like the fact that maybe we can trade off the Cherry to get it back, so it could still be fine. So, I mean, if we're going to go 16 lands, which I think we have to, given that this curve is looking relatively low, we don't really have too many mana sinks. Like, we have a couple of activated abilities, but it's not enough to justify 17 lands. We could easily flood, so I could still see myself cutting 1 land. Even the spell land is not too expensive to cast. We could even equip a Goldvein pick, sometimes getting a couple of hits to gain some tokens. Yeah, these cards are not really good in the white-green deck. Do I care about the snow lands that much? Like, our green cards don't even care about snow. That's how bad this pool is. Usually green is supposed to care about snow, but this pool doesn't even give a crap. So cards I could consider. 1 copy of Scorn Effigy could make the cut. Could I even consider splashing? Not really. This is not looking like the deck that wants to splash. I don't want to overcomplicate things. Not these cards. Like, there's barely any cards I would like to splash too. Like, these are the only red cards I would even consider splashing, and I don't even share a color with black. The black cards are just looking terrible. Like, I guess the Cosmos Charger is the only card I would even consider splashing too. And I guess I do have a couple of dual lands which can enable it. So it can be like our kind of like our outlier, just having the blue splash in a white-green like go wide aggressive deck. But our game plan is just to end the game as early as possible. So I'm not even sure if we want the Cosmos Charger. Like, do I really want to mess up my mana base that badly just to throw in 1 copy of Rime with Falls? I don't think I need the Replicating Ring. Yeah, there's not much ways I can splash for blue. I guess I can throw in the Hedgeway Pathway. But I'm only going to do it for a 4-mana 3/3 flyer, which is alright, but not by any means exciting. So it's actually looking pretty bad either way. So I guess I can throw in a Scorn Effigy, a God's Hall Guardian, or another Warhorn's Blast, or an Invoke the Divine in the deck. I don't think Divine Gambit's very good. And I think we have to like go for some sort of go wide game plan, honestly, in this type of deck, because it's just looking abysmal. Scorn Effigy is probably just worse than the cat, even though like you can foretell this for free and pay 0 mana for this in a 16 land deck. Like a 2/3 is really bad. Maybe we just need a God's Hall Guardian. Like, it can be a fine, okay finisher. We can always foretell it on 2. And then, like, if we flood, we can always just cast this. And we just want to get in as much damage in as much as possible. That's it. And yeah, looking at the curve, we do have a couple of 4s. Not too much. Like, it could be even... It can be insane, but we can even consider going 15 lands with this weird deck. But, like, if we're going to go 15, there's really nothing I want to play other than Invoke the Divine in white. I don't want a second copy of Warhorn Blast. I guess I can throw in a Scorn Effigy. Like, it's not terrible. But it's also not looking very good. I mean, but our curve really is not looking amazing at all. Like, this is really just it. Like, I guess we just really want to get to turn 3. For the most part. I mean, I feel like this draft is just gonna... We're just gonna die very quickly. The pool is just incredibly bad. And completely lackluster. So do I run 15 lands? That's the question. It might be a little bit too much. Like, would I even run 15 lands just for a Scorn Effigy? That's pretty bad. I don't even have synergy with it. So yeah, I guess it's just white, green, go wide, and then we just slightly favor white. But I guess since we're running 16 lands, we want to just keep it even split. And it looks like we're kind of even split anyways. So yeah, let's try this out, see how it goes. And sometimes this is the problem with Seal. Like, a lot of people, some people will say, hey, Seal takes a lot of skill and deck building. Honestly, I don't agree with that. Sometimes you just don't open a good pool, like this one. And you're just given a mediocre deck. And if the opponent has like a couple of bombs or mythic uncommons and they just play it, you're just completely screwed. So you basically have to just focus on cheesing the opponent out and stealing games. And this is just the type of pool that wants us to do so. Because look at all these cards; they're just not very deep. Blue barely has any creatures. They have a decent amount of playables, but mostly the non-creature spells make this one to be a secondary color. Black has some playables, but they're just bad creatures. Like, overall, barely have any of these have evasion. Barely any of these are impactful, other than the Vengeful Reaper. I guess Carvel Kelmaster, but you need to be hyper-aggressive, and even then, like, our red doesn't even support that much. But red barely has any playables, like, too. Like, it's looking terrible. Green has our Chariot, and at least white has, like, a curve, like a resemblance of a curve. And then our uncommons, like, even if we want to splash for them to maybe force a different direction, it's just the support for our commons and uncommons in our blue, black, and red. Our Grixis colors are just really that bad. Even green is now looking fantastic, honestly. Like, white's mostly our primary color because it has the better resemblance of the creature curve. Green is just filling out the 4-drop portion here. It's not even filling out the late game portion, honestly. It just has better synergy with what we currently have, and it has a mana fixing, and it's just easier to combine with white. Because, I mean, I guess I could consider, like, white-red, but it's no different from green, honestly. Like, I don't really want to play this in the white-red deck. This is too chonky expensive. This is, like, a worse version of the Chariot, and the Elderleaf Mentor. This is, like, whatever. This is just 2 5-drops. Pump effect, sure. And then black, like, I don't care about... These 2 cards don't make sense in the aggro deck. This makes sense, but it's just 1 5-drop. This is a flyer. This is okay. Yeah, everything looks okay. And then blue. Blue just doesn't even have enough playables. So I think it's just completely green-white. And this is just an example. Like, we're main decking a Broken Wings. This is how bad it is. And we have to play King Harold's Revenge to maybe steal some games. But it is what it is. So we're just going to give this a spin. See how long we survive. And see if we can cheese out our sealed matchups. And the pool's not even deep enough to enable, like, a good best out of 3 sealed pool, honestly. Like, most of the cards we're already main decking are sideboard cards that we don't want to play in the first matchup. They definitely make our first games worse, because usually in your first game, like, you don't really care too much about your sideboard. You just want to play cards that are good overall and that are just good in general. And you don't have to worry too much about artifacts and enchantments, but the fact that we need to play them makes it worse. So, oh well, we don't even have Raptors. We don't even have, like, the Raven Wings. It's bad. And then the opponent gets to play first. We want to be on the play too, so that's also a disadvantage now. So we'll see if they give us priority to go first. We'll see. I mean, I'm talking crap, but there's a possibility I could actually just go. I can actually go like 3 wins even with the sealed, but it's looking very unlikely. This is just a very terrible sealed pool, and there's like the only bomb is a chariot, and yeah, I guess we can trade off the chariot and get it back. So that's one thing I could consider. But the game plan is again to go just fill the board, curve out with lots of 1s, 2s, 2 drops, make a bunch of tokens, and then Warhorn Blast and kill them. So we'll see. And yeah, no green mana. This is terrible. Like, I mean white mana. Sorry. Like, do I turn to Mass Vandal? Are you serious? I would keep it if it was 1 mana. This is terrible too. Like, do we just? So yeah, this is just our luck. This is. And I'm forced to keep because I don't want to go to whatchamacallit, 5 lands. Yeah, I guess we had to keep something like this. It looks terrible. It's really bad. Maybe I just need to loop the Battle for Bredagard and keep the Master Scald and maybe hopefully get the 5. The Valor is definitely not going to be played. I'll be turn 1 playing land, hoping the turn 3 battle, get it back maybe with a creature that dies with the Master Scald. Yeah, this is just terrible. Like, I don't see myself winning this at all. It's just my luck. It's just really bad. Okay, we got the Chariot on 4 at least. So we trade this off. We can always get it back. But we do need a creature in the yard first. Okay, so white-black, maybe an Angels deck. Story Seeker on 2, not what we want to see. And hey, just our luck. We aren't getting a single secondary color. We're running 16 lands. So, yeah, let's happily take 2 and then have the opponent gain 2 and then lose the game from a 2-drop. Like, this is already so far behind with him attacking with 2-drop, gaining 2. It's already so bad. Like, hey, just like not what we want to top deck. Awesome. Next turn we can play a Chariot. Maybe we can double. Maybe we can trade. I guess a Chariot can at least block the 2/2s. I guess it's not that bad. So I might even just crew the block next turn if the opponent tries to fake an attack. Because it's not looking good here. It's looking really bad. And at least with this dies, I can eventually maybe get it back with the Master Skull, but I also need a creature in the graveyard, which is not very easy. So I think I have to crew and block here. Because this might even, this is at least a value block, and then like I can even attack back and make a 2/2 to at least trade. So I don't have a choice but to crew and block here. Otherwise, I could double block and just take 2. But honestly, yeah, I honestly think I need to go for the value block here. I could offer this. Like, I don't actually mind offering this trade at this point because I really, really, really need to desperately, like, I really need to, like, develop the board. And I got double Master Skull to get it back, so it's not that bad. The Usher the Fallen can trade too, but I do need to find white mana for it. But he's willing to double block, that's fine. Trade off both of his creatures, that's fine. And we got white mana, so it's not that bad. So now what we can do is I can crew the Chariot, offer to trade, eventually get back with the Master Skull, which I don't hate. And I think I will. At least I make a token here, so I think I'm attacking. And I'm fine with a double block. I have a 2/2 back that can trade off for it. And I think I'll actually just cast the Usher first. So then maybe this can trade, and then I can exile it and get back to Chariot. Wow, the opponent takes it. I don't really agree with that. So now this is a totally different decision now. So this is going to be tapped anyway, so it's not going to be crewed. So I feel like I just get the Usher out there. I know I could like get the battle, but I feel like I want to have more blockers up. And at least I can block the 3/2s here, maybe take 4, and maybe just repeat the same turn, make more tokens. But this is a good sign he doesn't have removal. And at least I net a 2/2, I can now trade off for these 3/2s. And if he wants to keep attacking, I'll just attack back, make another token. So it's totally fine with me. I don't mind this. And I'll just keep repeating until I have enough 2/2 blockers, and the opponent's forced to go all out, and that's totally fine. Opponent also doesn't seem an amazing deck, but at least he has like a solid curve of like creatures to beat down with. Like, it definitely looks better quality than ours. Like, honestly, I'm hoping he just attacks here. And if he's trading, that's totally fine with me too. I don't really care. In that case, maybe I still attack for the Usher here. Yeah, I feel like it's time to crew. And I feel like I want to offer the Usher at least. So I can at least exile it if it goes in the graveyard. I'm not going to boast, of course. But this is totally fine. I still have 2 blockers to keep back. And then at least I'm trading 2 for 1 here. I don't know why he hasn't like blocked this yet. I guess he could have a Doomscar, but if he has a Doomscar, he wouldn't be playing out creatures like this. It wouldn't make sense. And if he's taking it, he's taking it. That's totally fine with me too. Okay, sure. Now I'll play the battle. And I can just make more cat tokens on the 3rd chapter, which can also block. Is he? I can even chump block, so I don't care. This is annoying. So if he can double spell and put a counter, that's pretty bad. But he's not, so he probably ran out of playables. Now I get a. Now that's good. Now I can crew for 4, but I think I'm gonna crew these 2 like this. And I guess I'll attack with these 2. Because I'm not planning to, like... I need to be careful. Yeah, I can't just... And I guess I'll boast to make a token if I want to as well. If he double blocks, it's fine. Opponent doesn't double block too. Okay, I guess he has a plan. I don't know what it is. I'll boast here. And do I keep land in hand? Let's see. So next turn, if I pick up a plains... I mean, if I play land, either way, like... even if I top deck a plains next turn, I can still double spell. So I don't see a reason to play the forest. He can just make me discard. So I guess I'll just say go. I'm already gumming up the battlefield. So unless he has a way to give everything flying, then I should be able to overtake this game. And he just passes the turn, which is totally fine with me. Wow. Yeah, this is crazy. All right, I'll just make a million tokens. And now I guess I can afford to attack with some of these tokens. And I'll still attack for the Usher. So we will have to get in for lethal, maybe. Do I just send in the cat team? I think I do. This will incentivize him to block. He should have blocked this like turns ago, but I think he was afraid of a combat trick. And now I'm happy if he trades for the Usher, because if he does, I can just get back. I don't understand what he's doing. He shouldn't have been taking this, honestly. I think it's a huge mistake. Is he chomping? Seriously? He really thinks he can like win by like going all out? Okay. I mean, I'm not against that, but this is still 10 damage coming in. I'll just play a Cold Spell Cleric as a chump blocker if he does this, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, I guess I can boast instead. Yeah, let's boast instead. So the opponent has optimism. Actually, I shouldn't have done that, because I could have like played the 4/4 out, and then I could have played the 4/4 out, and then I don't think he has lethal here. Okay, Jaro. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, now it actually doesn't feel that bad that I didn't second main the Master, because now I can get back the Asika Chariot with the Master Scald, and now I can just always double block. So I don't understand what the opponent was trying to do. He has a really good early game, just curving out with those 2 and 3 drops. I think he should have just double blocked the Chariot earlier, and I multi 5/2. So it doesn't seem like it was a weird match. So in white-black, there is a couple of flyers, so I think I still want to keep the Broken Wings. I could main deck a Revitalize, since the opponent is kind of aggressive. I mean, what do I have to change here? He doesn't have a lot of removal, though. Snakeskin Veil doesn't seem great. But overall, like, what do we even play? Like, this is how bad our pool is. I don't even know how we won. I think the Score and Effigy will line up pretty well against the 2/2s, so I think I'll include that into the deck. Maybe I just get rid of Broken Wings. But he probably has... I guess he has the 3/3 that can fly. So the Broken Wings look solid. Yeah, maybe just fine throwing the Score and Effigy, and then what card do I want to cut? High Toughness cards get better because the opponent is playing lots of 2/2s. Valor looks bad, but might just need it in this deck. Maybe the Veil can go. Didn't see any removal from the opponent. Besides the Jarl, but the Jarl is just a fine one of. I mean, the Valor is just bad, too. I don't really like the Valor as well. I guess the Valor is a token for the deck. Do I just want to replace the Story Seekers with, like, a 2-3? I guess I do. The Ushers is not looking great as well. Although, if you cast them, they just trade. So maybe I just ditch the Story Seeker and just throw in, like, 2 Scorn Effigies. They're bad cards, but I'll play them. Or maybe one. Maybe one is fine. Honestly, they only blocked the Story Seekers, which I only saw 2 copies of, so I'm not even sure. I don't even know why the opponent allowed me to attack for the Seeker's Chariot. He must be giving me free wins, or he was afraid of a pump spell. But little do they know, my pull is so bad, I don't even have a single pump spell to back up my creatures. So can we finally have all double colors? It's not an amazing hand, but it's definitely keepable. We can curve out 2-drop in the 4-drop, and hopefully we can find the Saga or the Chariot, or I might just play this as a 5-mana 4/4, which is not good, but acceptable. Opponent chooses to be on play. Okay, mulligans one. Okay, there's our Saga, so now once we trade off a creature, we can just bring it back. So, not back her, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Now this is looking a lot more appealing. Here comes the turn 2 Story Seeker, but he foretells instead. Okay, next turn we can battle, eventually get back. And this card's not that great, honestly. It's only great if you're main decking pumps. So I should, like, main deck maybe 2 Warhorn Blasts in this deck to enable it. I don't mind trading this. Honestly, it's just not even that great. Oh, he's going for the trade. Wow. I did not expect that. I mean, if you really want to trade, that's fine. So the question is, what do I do here? I'm locked in on white mana, so I think I need to play one of these. Do I really want to cast the battle? I guess the battle doesn't even copy the 1 elf green token, so I think I want to get in for more damage. Let's just get in for 2 with the flyer. I guess now it gives a reduction for my battle, so that's a lot better. But I'll eventually cast this. But we are locked on white mana, unfortunately, so we'll see. I didn't expect that trade the Inferno Pet, to be honest. I don't care about this. I'm fine attacking for 2. Yeah, I can race him on the ground. I want to be the one who puts him on defense here. Maybe I just need double Warhorn Blast in this type of deck. Maybe that's my only way of winning. I shouldn't be too careful, like, with the whole pump effects and everything, so I could just attack with all, but it's probably not good for me. Struggle's not bad. I can kill the flyer, although it's a 3/2, so it's not great. Maybe I just battle this turn, stay back, attack for 2. Or I can Valor, but he probably has some sort of Foretell card. I think he has the Flash creature, so we probably don't want to deal damage to him. So probably Battle's fine. Maybe I keep the 2/2 back now to block the 3/2, because he has a Lifelinker. And then now I can Foretell the Struggle and have it for 1 mana next turn, so then I can 1-drop into, like, Batter Shield Warrior. So that's probably the game plan now. It's not like this is an amazing Saga. Like, I don't know why the opponent is just respecting this. It's like holding priority. It's not like... It's like his 2/2 already stonewalls my 1/1s. I don't understand why you should even consider... It's not even a great rare to open in a draft, so we'll see. I'm not saying in the 3/2, it just doesn't seem great. I'm hoping he flashes it in the turn, so then maybe we can double block it. Yeah, it's probably the flash creature. I don't know, maybe this opponent is just not good in sealed, because I don't really agree with these plays that he's making. Like, the trade here shouldn't make any sense, because this can eventually become a 3/3. He didn't get any value from, like, dealing damage, so he just flashes this in preemptively. Now that's a good card, I'm happy to see, but luckily enough, we got our struggle for Skemfar going. So, at least now, we get some value here. And now what? I guess we might as well use our mana to our advantage by playing this out. And the question is, do I attack? I still don't think we, I still don't think we're the... I mean, we can go wide, for sure, but I still think, we need to set up a board presence first. Now this forces everyone to attack, which is really annoying. So he can eat up my 1/1 token. But luckily, I can pump my team. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, we're just gonna make copies of 2 tokens here. So I can put my... So I can put a 1/1... I can put the 1/1 here, so then when I pump... Actually, I only have 1 white mana to boast, so I can't do that. So that sucks. So I have to attack with all and boast. Unfortunately, I would love to have this extra planes to put the 1/1 here, so I can... So this can go past the flyer, but I need to do this instead, so that sucks. And now he can get a good value block here, drain me. So that's unfortunate. Cardor managed to get some value here. He can, yeah. So do I don't even need to boast here, honestly. So if I boast, what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is 4. Plus 5 is 9. 10, 11, 12. I get in for 12, which I don't even want to. I think I just want to build a board presence, to be honest. And, you know, it's not like this... It's not like boasting will kill the Cardor. So it's not like it's going to do much anyways. So I feel like I'm more inclined to just play this Horizon Seeker. And then what I can do is... Do I want to cast a Valor to Worthy? The Valor's not that bad. If I put the Valor here, I guess it makes another 4/3 that he needs to like block with either Cardor or Stalwart Valkyrie, so I think the value is in here. And I'll be boasting with this too, so he might want to incentivize blocking these two. And this is only for 1 turn, so I don't even have to attack for the tokens next turn. Eventually, I will get mana to play my Master Scald, of course, and get back my Saga to go even more wide. But now I feel like I need to main deck 2 Warren Blast in this deck, as opposed to 1. So now I can attack with both of these. And I feel more inclined to attack with the Flyer, because I don't mind just double blocking this. But for now, yeah, we're boasting, so I think I can... Do I want main faces? Doesn't even matter. No, let's just move the attacks. So these are definitely attacking. I don't see a reason not to. I'm fine with this block. I'll make a 1/1 token, which is cool. And I want to trade Cardor, which is awesome too, if he goes for it. Yeah, we're boasting. He gets to drain me for 1, but I'm trading for a 3/3, which is quite nice. I don't even know why I put Snowlands in this deck. It's not like it does anything, so... He gets to drain me, sure, la-di-la. La-di-da, we finally got a land in the 16-land deck that's meant to not flood out. I mean, not to get screwed, but we're still... Watch as we top deck a land next turn. It's kind of like our luck in this game. Always faltering. But I probably need to keep the 2/2 back now to block the 3/2. And gotta keep in mind, also counts as creatures. We also got lucky fighting this off too, on one of our turns. So I'm not even sure if I want to block this. Like, I'm probably going to trade this off for the 2/2 anyways. Get back to Saga. And the opponent's flooding out as well. So I think I'm just going to attack with both of these, and then keep the 2/2 back. Yeah, there's no reason to attack for the tokens, because they're not attacking past any of these creatures. And I'm fine with the trade here, it's totally fine with me. But if he takes it, I might just take the 3 again, and then swing back for the 2/2 flyer next turn. But his deck actually looks better than mine, but maybe he just doesn't know how to play Magic. I have no idea. Okay, the trade here is pretty good. I like it. So now he's going to eventually lose his 4/3. I can start attacking with the other cards. And now Master Scald can exile a creature, bring back my Saga. Exile creature card, we'll bring back the Saga, of course. And then we'll exile, doesn't matter. The Elder Leaf Mentor is bad even at 4 mana, so I might as well just do that instead, say go. And I can trade for this 3/2, eventually start beating down the ground. Sure, I guess now this will become a 3/3. I don't know, he should be moving into flyer. I'm hoping he attacks the flyer so he doesn't make this into a 3/3. That can be pretty annoying if he does that. But if he stays back, I'm probably going to attack next turn with the 2/2. And I'll still gain 2 life with the Doomscar in battle next turn. So opponent's playing it really safe. I don't know if this is correct. But I think I just go for it, right? So what I can do is I can cast Doomscar Oracle for 3. Cast a battle to gain some life. Is he waiting for his Doomscar? I don't understand. I'm definitely attacking with both of these. The question is, if he double blocks, what do I want to kill? Might just be the life linker, since he's at 9 life, and I don't want him to gaining a ton of life. And then his 3/2 just doesn't line up against. I mean, I guess it lines up with all the ground creatures, but I have so many 1/1s that either way, he's going to be dealing a ton of damage. I just want to reduce the lifelink amount, so I think I'll trade for the Story Seeker if he double blocks. This trade is totally fine. Next turn we can include the picks onto the 2/3, so then he can start attacking into the 2/3/3. But I don't know. I don't understand what the opponent was thinking there. He seems to have an overall better deck than mine. I don't understand why he decided to play very safe. I mean, the Battle for Bredagar, honestly, is not even that amazing of a card. His 2/2 like lifelinkers that he played just completely stonewalled me. But it is what it is. But now I can see the value of adding double Warhorn Blast and a 16 land Abomination. And, yeah, might just be the correct choice. And we somehow got our first win. I don't know. Sometimes you're just lucky to play against people who are just, I don't know, I don't want to say they're worse than me, but that opponent didn't really put up too much of a fight. So these are like not great cards. Maybe I just need a Guardian just to have the extra creatures. I'm ranked 15 plus Battle, which is almost like 16 creatures. I guess 17 with the Seeker's Chariot, or 18, depending on how you look at it. Goldvein Pick is always a fine equipment. It's always nice having one equipment. Yeah, I guess I need to play all these. So these are kind of like the cards that we don't want. Broken Wings, yeah, I guess with Mass Vandal, we don't want to go all in with the Broken Wings, so I think we can cut that. And we'll just throw in like a random like Warhorn Blast. And hopefully we don't play against too many broken enchantments or artifacts. But we can usually just answer them with, I guess, 1 copy of Mass Vandal. Or Snakes, or maybe Snakesman Veil gets cut. But I like the efficiency of this just being 1 mana. The King Herald's Revenge, I don't like it. But in this weird type of deck, it could just win me the game, honestly. Like, imagine going really wide, and then the opponent's, and then you can King Herald's Revenge onto a flyer and just get in for a million. It's almost like a Kaya's Onslaught, except it's a lot worse, of course. But we might just need that effect in this type of deck, because this deck really is not that great. So yeah, I guess we'll just keep it like this. Now, it's slightly favoring white, but I still think we keep it even split, right? Can I cut a green source? I don't think so. Although, we might now. Because we just added in just this Warhorn Blast. Can I really go 7 green? I think I can. I don't even have any double green in this deck. Like, everything wants to be white. Like, the only 2-drop in green is, like, Masked Vandal, and I don't even want to play it out on turn 2. So I think we can do the exception of cutting in the forest and adding in extra planes. So then we'll have 9 white sources and then 7 green sources. I'm hoping this is correct. Alright, let's give this a shot. Obviously, if we're going to be in the sealed qualifiers, we're not going to run against too many opponents like our first one. Because I think there's going to be a lot of good players. It's a serious event, so I highly doubt a steel pool like this will even make it to day 2, let alone like 2 games. We'll be on the play because this is a deck that wants to be on the play first. And there, now that our mana base improved, we can turn 1 Usher, maybe Boast. Maybe the Battle Shield Warrior. I think I'll risk it here. We can always foretell on 2, but I think I want to boast in this type of deck. So we'll always leave with a turn 1 Usher, scare the opponent, apply some pressure, maybe start boasting, making tokens, eventually just go wide and kill them with a King Herald's Revenge, Warhorn, or Battle Shield. But eventually I do want to hit land 3, of course. I'm fine boasting for 1 turn, but then I need to eventually like start doing something with all this. Alright, Usher, there you go. And I'm not gonna try to banter with my opponent. People like to do that. The turn 1 Ushered. Okay, so the snow-covered mountain is probably like a frostbite here. Yeah, there we go. So now that slows us down, and we can foretell a spell. And then hopefully we can get a land drop going. So some sort of red-black snow deck, and lo and behold, we don't get anything. So now we're going to be far behind until we get a land drop. And at least we can maybe play this on turn 2, so... I mean, at least we can foretell our spells. It's not that bad, but it's still not amazing. Okay, let's get a land, please. Could see like a removal spell on this pack mate. So white mana is interesting. I could try the Valor here. This could bait out the removal spell, which I don't mind. I mean, I get 2 for 1 here, but... I mean... I think I do it so he doesn't answer anything else, so... Have him kill it. Okay. I should maybe done that last turn, to maybe, the turn after, so then I can have Snake Skin Veil up. But I think, I just want to get rid of it now. It's just really annoying. So, some sort of, Sultai Grixis 4-color snow deck, and these are already 2 good removal spells, so we're already up against, like, a deck, like, with 2 good cards out of ours, which is just really bad. And then now we can play our rare, and then eventually keep up Snakeskin Veil. This does cost double green to activate, and he does need to be in a fully elf tribal deck. Next turn we can crew attack, and if he tries something, we can always Snakeskin Veil to get it out of the way. So, Sculptor is fine. Sure. Like, the question is, do I even want to trade this off? Like, I can always King Heralds. But I mean, I'm getting pretty good value here. I think I just go for it, right? Like, it's pretty good. What's the worst case result? I think I have to go for it. This is the type of match I have to go for it, right? Otherwise, we're never going to win against a deck that's better than ours, clearly, so... So I'll offer the 2-2, and if he blocks, I'll use a Snakeskin Veil. Or I just use Warhorn Blast, but he's just going to take it, which I'm totally fine with as well. I can always Batter Shield and Pump, which is also really nice. Do I just want to get the Flyer out there? Maybe the Flyer's just better. And I'll think about like pumping the turns afterwards. So he has 5 mana available, including the Sculptor Winner, now 6. So just 1 more land, and he can eventually like just activate the Elvish War Master at instant speed, which is annoying. Okay, so it's just completely Elf Tribal, sure. I can always just King Herald's Revenge this next turn, right? God's Hall Guardian. So if I King Herald's Revenge, how much creatures is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 creatures? So if I have 5 creatures and I King Herald's Revenge, this is going to be a 9/9, so then he might be forced to put everything in front of it. Which I actually don't mind as well. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I have a 2/2 Flyer that can like get in the way. Do I want to though? I would love an extra land, but this is probably the matchup where we want to. So let's do that. Let's crew. Yeah, because this... Yeah, this... I guess, yeah, I might as well do it now. I guess I can force a 2/2 to block. I wish King Herald's Revenge makes you, like, choose which creature they have to block with. But I think I need to do this. Like, otherwise I don't think I'm getting anywhere. Hopefully no 1-mana stupid trick. But now this is a 9/9, which is difficult. So now I'm going to force him to put multiple creatures in front of this. And yeah, and still make a 2/2 on defense. And eventually I'll buy this back, so let's just do this. Do this. Because eventually he can just, like, go all out with, like, his elves, and I don't want that. I really want him to, like, deal this now, or else he's going to be in trouble. And if he wants to keep his War Master around, that's fine. I'll have the 2/2s, and then I'll have the Warhorn Blast to finish the game, hopefully. And if he wants to chump, that's also fine with me. And if he wants to go all out and wide, that's fine. I'll have a 2/2 as backup. I guess everything will be a 2/2, so I can still pump the whole team if he goes for it. If he really wants to take it, that's really nice for me. I don't care. None of his creatures will get trampled, just Death Touch. This is a really interesting turn. He has to block it, so he'll be taking a shit ton of damage on the way back. So I'm hoping he just throws everything in front. He can preserve a stupid Elvish War Master, I don't care, but he's just going to take this approach. That's fine. This does imply he might have a removal spell for the Chariot, but if this keeps shitting out cat tokens, it's not good for him, so I'm willing to take this. If you want to take all this damage, that's fine. Now you're at 6, so now on the swing back, on the crack back, I can just win the game. So we'll just foretell here. So you go. And I can also chump the 5/5 if he decides to swing. But I could just take it because I might want the extra creature just to maybe the plow across next turn. That could be my only way to win. Sure, I don't care. Hey, if you want to keep making 5/5, that's fine. I have a 2/2 that's gonna attack. I guess, is that lethal? Not really. Oh, I guess it is. So what I can do now is I can Warhorn Blast for 3, Cold Spell Cleric, and Snakeskin Veil. So let's do that. Let's Warhorn Blast here at main phase. He's holding up priority with the 1 Sculptor. We can play the Cold Spell Cleric because it's gonna be a second spell. Put on this Starnheim Courser. I might as well crew the Chariot, right? I could have crewed first, but whatever. It doesn't matter, I have lethal. And I don't think there's any one single blue spell that will win in the game here. Force him to make the blocks. And then we'll use the Snakeskin Veil to finish him off. But the opponent does have a strong deck. It's a nice Jund elf deck that he has. Yeah. And then before damage, we're going to use Snakeskin Veil on the Starnheim Courser. He's holding priority. I don't think there's one single mana that will save him here. This is just lethal. It's hexproof anyway, so he's just dead here. And we should have a Snakeskin Veil in the deck now that we saw like double Frostbite and this. But now Broken Wings looks a lot worse. It's not looking like a card I want to play in this matchup. So this is why you don't want like Broken Wings in your main deck, because of stuff like this. So Snakeskin Veil looks good. I don't mind a weapon. I don't mind all the go wide pump effects. The King Herald's Revenge pretty much want us to game 2. Yeah, so yeah, none of these cards I care about. None of these cards I care about. Do I want to play the Scorn Effigy? It does hold off the 2/2s, but it's not like it's a big deal. Like, do I really want to play a 3-mana 2/3 in this deck? I guess they line up better against, like, the Elvish War Master and the Sculptor, but I don't actually mind trading off my 3/2s for the Sculptor or Winter, honestly. So this is just probably just another keep here, and then we're just gonna fire it off again and hope we just cheesed them out. So some sort of Jund Sultai Snow deck, and this is not a hand you want to keep. It looks terrible. Why is it that when I play 17 landers I always flood, but when I play 16 landers this happens? I don't understand. It's fine. I mean, this is not a great hand. Valor really can't do anything. Like, what am I gonna equip this onto? I definitely want to keep the Goldvein pick. King Herald's Revenge could just steal games. Like, we're planning to go very wide here. I guess this could also make a 1/1 flyer for the Goldvein pick, which is not too bad. I guess we also have various pump effects. So how much creatures are we gonna have on the battlefield? Like 2? King Herald's Revenge is probably just too clunky, right? For 3 mana. It might force them to trade, though, but I think keeping here. So we're keeping the battle. I like the Goldvein pick because it's a weapon that can stay on the battlefield and enhance our creatures. These cards are very questionable. The God's Hope Guardian is not looking great. It's going to be... In the late game, it can't even attack into the 5/5s that well. So it could actually just be the cut. I'm not sure. This King Herald's Revenge could also be okay with a Bredagard if... if the opponent is just playing 2/2s and forcing us to trade with them. So I'll just ditch the God's Guardian. In that game, we were also like missing some of our lands too, so it wasn't even an amazing game either. So now this hand's looking a lot better. And Poe misses a land drop. Wow, so he kept a 1-lander. So now we can punish him now. Hopefully. Wow, he missed another land drop. Okay, so now we can really punish him. I don't want to say good game just yet. I do want to deal 3 damage to you, but we'll probably see a Frostbite end of turn. So I should probably play the battle, but he really needs to hit his land drops here. Tap lands, okay. I guess that's not too bad. I'm not, yeah, don't say too, don't, yeah, opponent, please don't say good game so early. Like, you can still win this, like, you can still win this if you have the removal and interaction to deal with my stuff early on. Like, I know you could be far behind, but don't say you're gonna beat me. Because honestly, my deck is not that great. Like, sure, I'm hitting my lands, but I could easily flood, you can easily, like, get your lands back, and you can just win the game that way. It's probably a Demon Bolt, I feel like, just like the last game. Yeah, that's fine. If he wants to use it, it's fine. We'll play the battle. Yeah, we'll play the battle here. The question is, do we War Valor? Probably not. I think we want to just equip the guy. Might as well use the mana that way. Do I just make him do a 3/3? Yeah, I guess I do. It's not that bad. I mean, we're playing pretty crappy cards too, opponents, so don't feel bad that you're missing your land drops, and you still have 2 of your removal spells you had last game, and okay. Usher to Fallen, sure. And you're still at 17, and you're still foretelling, so. Yeah, it's not like my deck is anything special. Like, if you make me discard this, like, I'll be in trouble. Next turn I can make 2 guys, maybe Boast, and, maybe... Okay, still nothing, maybe just more removal spells, that's fine. Courser, sure. We're definitely gonna copy all these tokens. I forgot this also copy artifacts, so I have to always keep that in mind as well. Let's move to combat. I think I'm boasting here. We can always do it second. No need to pull the trigger now. So the Blood in the Snow is 6 mana, so we can still afford to just make a bunch of tokens and go wide. So yeah, I mean, it looks like a good deck, but he just misses land drop. I'm sorry, opponent, honestly. I think your deck is better than mine. You're just, like, this is just really unlucky. I'm sorry. I'm not going to emote you, so... It's just game over here, I think. I'm sorry. Yep, just combat, attack. And then we'll just use a Warhorn's Blast. Finish the game like this. Okay, well, I don't even know why we haven't managed to even get 2-0. This is so stupid. It shouldn't even make sense, honestly. The opponent had a good deck too. Like, he had some good removal, the nice Elf Lord, some 5/5s, Sculptor of Winter, but he kept the 1-lander, risked it, you know. But sometimes it just comes down to luck, and that opponent was just very unlucky. Lot less unlucky, a lot more unlucky than we are. A better pool, but those 2 matches were just very unlucky for him. Sorry, I mean... Well, I guess I need to get up to 4 wins. So it's not even... So we still have a long way to go. So now I'm thinking of just getting rid of the Broken Wings. Sorry for the cough. I swear I don't have COVID. Well, I guess we changed it already. Yeah, and I feel like the only way we can win is like just to have all these Anthem effects. So yeah, hopefully we can get up to maybe 4 wins. I don't know. But this is a crappy sealed pool, so at least try to use my knowledge. If some of you need assistance with sealed and find this information relevant, just use my knowledge to the best of your ability to, you know, make the best sealed deck possible. But of course, you can always, like, if you don't, it's either you go the multicolor route with your splash lands and play something janky, or if you have enough fixing, you can make like a solid like 3 or 4 color deck. But in this scenario, like where, you know, most of our commons and uncommons suck in all the rest of the colors, and we're forced to just play a 2-color deck and go all in, like, you have to take this approach, guys. Like, you have to. We'll play, obviously. Sure to fall on turn 1. Well, we do have battle on turn 3. We can always, like... Yeah, it's not that bad. Like, we can always, like, foretell this. It's kind of slow, but we're on the play, so I think we'll try it. I don't usually like hands like this, but, like, if we can foretell this and cast this and draw a card, this does improve our chances. So it's really not that bad. Alright, so hopefully we can maybe get white mana eventually, but we're foretelling this. And this is like a 3-mana 3-3 that draws you a card, so it's not that bad. So a red-black aggro deck, maybe. Luckily we're on the play, so then we get the incentive. Okay, never mind, it's a red-green shapeshifter deck of some sort. Okay, we'll play the Packmate, hopefully draw some cards. Please, is the game kind enough? I guess the game is not kind enough. I don't know why, but every single time I go like 16 lands, I screw, but every time I go 17 lands, like flood. Like, I can't even find like a good middle ground in this type of deck. At least he's using a squash on the 3-3, okay. Hey, a land, awesome. Just when we needed it. I don't really like to trade the 3-2 into the 2-2. The more efficient, it is more mana efficient. But it's nice to get this out there and maybe attack so that we can get a land to Story Seeker. So I think I'll Horizon Seeker, and if he attacks, I'll take it. If he stays back, I'm still attacking into this. So red-green like shapeshifter deck, maybe some giant synergies. Sure. I think I'm, you know, like, I don't like to trade for the 3-2, but I will. But he's going to use a removal spell, so sure. If the opponent wants to bloat or load, that's fine. And 4 mana, hey, and guess what? We can play our mythic, our rare, our bomb. And I'll take 4 if he goes for it, so then I can start making more cat tokens. And then the Master Skull can get it back if we trade it off, so that's cool. I could even just trade this off, not even protect it. Craven Hook, that's fine. Yeah, I could just trade it off, it's not that bad. But do I want to? That's the question. I mean, it's not difficult. Yeah, so sure, I will crew this, and then I will attack, I'll trade it off, and then I'll Master Skull and get it back if he decides to trade. And it's not a bad trade. Alternatively, I can use up the pump spell that's going to use up my whole entire turn. I'd rather develop a 4-4. I mean, do I use the Warhorn Blast? Probably not. I think, so he thinks he can beat me down. Okay, that's fine. We'll just let the damage happen. I'm not going to use any pump tricks. We still make some 2-2s back. The Master Skull can get back to Chariot, so that's pretty cool. So luckily he used his removal spells early. We're going to exile the 3-2 because this is better. And yeah, we're just going to keep looping it. I can even trade for the 4-4 to prevent even more damage. Opponent's foretelling, so it could be a Packmate next turn. We'll see. I'm definitely going to attack here with the 4-4. I can even just use King Harold's Revenge. Opponent just good games me. Why are people conceding so quickly? Like, guys, you shouldn't just be conceding like this. Like, honestly, it's... I feel like this could just be a... Yeah, this could just be a Demon Bolt. So do I even play around it? I think it's a Demon Bolt. He's holding up so much priority. If it's a Demon Bolt, do I even care about... I think I still put a counter onto this. Because either way, like, I don't really care about 3-3 cat. We can attack for 5 here. And there's no board wipes in red or green, and besides the Crush the Weak, so... And he wouldn't have Foretell Crush the Weak, I think he would just cast it right away, so... If he attacks, I could just chomp it, too. But maybe I just want the extra creature for King Harold's Revenge. That's fine, okay. Now he can double block. So this creature has to be blocked. So what I can do this turn, so this is going to be played, so I can play a 2-drop and then King Harold's Revenge, and that's pretty insane. And then attack with all. Yeah, let's do that. And I do want to trample over for a shit ton of damage. So I guess I'll crew these two. I guess I can just King Harold's Revenge as Seeka's Chariot, never mind. This is just insane. Yeah, this is just insane. You're just dead. Okay, I mean, the opponent's deck looks solid, but I mean, this is just a broken rare. This is the reason why I'm even playing green in the first place, is because of this rare. It's not because green has a deep pool. In fact, it doesn't. Like, if you look at the rest of the other colors, like, there's no, like, bombs in blue. Like, this isn't really a bomb. I think it's a good card. I mean, it's only a bomb if you have enough Foretell synergies and flyers, but honestly, it's not like a bomb or anything. None of these are bombs either. Like, I wouldn't even consider this a bomb. None of these are bombs. Like, this is a good top-end card. This is a good card, but 0 bombs. This is kind of like a bomb if you can get it going. Same with this one, but it requires a lot of setup. This is not a bomb. I wouldn't call this a bomb either. It's a good card if you can get it, but a lot of work. It's almost like a bomb. It's still hard to enable. Yeah, none of these are really bombs. Like, this is the only true bomb in my deck. So, yeah, I guess we'll just run it again. And the opponent didn't even play a lot of enchantments and artifacts, so there's no reason to even throw in the Broken Wings. And red-green doesn't care about flying. Right, so he's going to decide, does he just concede and give me the win? It's not a great opening hand. If I flood, this is really bad, but I do have struggle for Skempar, Batter Shield Warrior, a land I can activate. I'll risk it. I'm on the draw. I should have an extra draw step. And playing this tab is also pretty solid. And we got 3 drops, not bad. Sure, we can foretell this and then cast this for 1 eventually. I think I want to get the Horizon Seeker out so then I can get my lands going. So yeah, we'll do this, and then we'll foretell. He probably has another Frostbite lined up. He does have the 4/4 Slumber Mouth, so I should be careful about this. But I should have all my mana available here. So the question is, which one do I want to die? Probably Horizon Seeker, because of Batter Shield Warrior does a lot more work in my deck. So we'll just get this out there. You could see a Demon Bolt or Frostbite end of turn, but it just resolved really quickly, so I'm presuming 0. If he plays something we can fight, I will fight it and then get a land. So move to combat. Should play my land first. But maybe I just play out the Batter Shield Warrior and just apply pressure. Yeah, I think I'll risk it here. Like, I could essentially just find a land and get value, but I think this is better, so maybe I can sacrifice a land next turn. But if he has Crush the Weak, then fucked. Okay, now this isn't Crush the Weak. It is still pretty annoying, though. So if I attack with all and I pump, it's not that great. So do I 2-for-1 myself? Actually, let's just play the Usher and wait a turn. Maybe the game plan now is just to go wide. But he's probably going to find removal to disrupt my game plan. Because this is just going to stall out my board. Like, 5/5s are so effective in this set, and 6/6s. So I'm not in the best spot if I want to be aggressive. So we'll play the Master Skull here without value. So now the game plan is just to have him attack, and then we can go wide and pump the team and kill him. That's the only game plan. But we need to, like, clear a path and maybe have the opponent make a bad attack. So we're not blocking here. There's no reason why we should double block. This is not the type of deck that wants to do that. So what I can do now, I think I need to fight this and get in there. Like, there's no way I'm winning this by staying back. So I think the game plan now is to activate. Let me see. So it's like this. I have to do this. Hopefully no removal spells. We're going to put a counter here, and then a counter... Not a Horizon Seeker. I think Usher needs to get a counter. Does this resolve? That's the question. Could see a Demon Bolt. That would be pretty bad. I could see a Demon Bolt here. And a Squash. So it's still really bad for me. Okay, so if I attack, it's not going to accomplish anything. I think we're just going to lose to this 6/6. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And he probably has a Slumber Mound now to destroy my land and make a 4/4, so we're just going to take 6 again. So that was bad. That was my turn to swing back and you struggle to fight the 5/5 and attack in and gain a ton of life. But okay, there it is. There's a game plan. Yeah, we're not winning this. No way, no. Yeah. So this is how fragile our deck is. Like, against cards like Battle of Frost and Fire, like, we're not going to win against that. And even a single 5/5 can just ruin us so badly. So we just have to go all in. These are the type of games where you just need to get very lucky and just go all in. Because unfortunately, this is the pool that we were given by RNGesus. So So if the opponent gets his 5/5 out there, and we really need to keep like a low curve hand that's constantly curving out and attacking. We can't afford to keep like our hand like the last game, because the 3/3 is not going to get there, and he has a board wipe as well, and plus like life gain with the serpent. So we really need to develop the board as quickly as possible and just overwhelm the opponent. We don't have the option of and luxury of waiting until turn 3 just to cast a 3-drop and maybe gain some value over it, because that board wipe is just a sign that we need to attack, and this is the game plan we have to go for. So we have to keep a pretty low curve hand. And do we have one? Well, this isn't a bad turn 3 play. This is a turn 4 play. We're on the play. Yeah, I don't really want to mull. Let's keep. Again, it's not ideal, but we can. But yeah, it's really not ideal, honestly. But honestly, I don't really. I mean, this is at least a turn 3, so. I mean, I did state that we don't want to keep a hand like this, but I will. So. I think we might have to play this first just to attack and apply more pressure. And we do have the force to keep up the Snakeskin Veil, so I think we do this pack mate first. And then if he tries to kill it, we'll have the option of keeping up the Snakeskin Veil. And I should play this first to maybe get a tap land, but we'll just say go, keep up the Snakeskin Veil. If he tries to kill this, we'll give it Hexproof. But we need to apply the 3 damage right away. This is what the game plan of the deck is. We can't afford to like play defense. I mean, we can't afford to make 1/1s here. We just have to attack. That's a fine card. I think I'll use a Snakeskin Veil to make a 4/4. Again, it's not ideal, but I think we have to. I mean, I could also offer to trade, but I think we have to do it this game, because there's a Battle of Frost and Fire. I mean, I could also use... No, I can't use the Warren Blast. Is this a deck where I just play out a Mass Vandal? No, I think I need a Snakeskin Veil. A 4/4 is very important in this matchup, and I don't really like the trade here. Yeah, I could also just foretell this, maybe. Maybe the 1 damage doesn't matter. Yeah, just foretell this first. And we're getting mana screwed, so... The question is, which one do we play first? Elderly Mentor, Seeker Chariot. He could have the Battle of Frost and Fire next turn, and we're totally screwed. So the question is, which one do we play? Yeah, we can't risk it. Like, I would love to, like, just, play the battle, but I think we need to just get an Invasive Flyer. We can't play defense here. If he has the battle, then he has the battle. He clears both my creatures. I get 2 for 1 pretty badly and lose both quality creatures. But in this matchup, I need the Flyer right away to apply as much damage as possible. Showdown isn't as bad as the battle, but still a good card. No battle, just a bunch of lands. I think he played his land already. No, he didn't. So he gets to play his land and get value. We can attack for 6 next turn. Okay, I guess now I can exile this. No, actually I can't, because I can play the Seeker Chariot for 3. That's freaking awesome. I love this Kaldheim Courser. So I think I need to play main phase so I don't, accidentally, He probably needs to take the damage, because he didn't have Frostbite last time. So next turn, what we can do is we can Warhorn Blast and totally blow him out. Like, he's going to make a pretty large, Blade Warden, but I should be able to punch past it. Maybe. I can also just exile this. But he's just going to play all his lands, play the Immerstrom Raider. We should be able to Warhorn Blast and deal a ton of damage next turn, too. I can also set up a board and then just go all in. I think he would have cast the battle if he had it this turn. Yeah, he would have definitely cast the battle, so there's no reason to play it safe here. Maybe I just accrue and just attack. If he wants to use an artifact, that's fine too. Sure, he makes a 5/5, that's pretty annoying. Oh, if he wants to increase this, I'm totally fine with that as well. So maybe I just offer to trade for this pack mate this turn. And now these are exile, but now whenever he casts a spell, he grows his creature. The question is, do I even care about exiling this? Probably not. So if I attack with all, what happens? He can value block here, trade 6. I guess that's lethal if he isn't careful. Alternatively, he can block here, and then it won't be lethal. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, I might as well attack with all. there's no reason to be a pussy here. So if he blocks here and blocks a 2/2, he needs. Oh, so 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, it's just game over. This is what we have to do. I mean, it's sealed. This is what we have to do. So every damage matters. So we can't play around the sweeper. The opponent wants to play some Sora 5-color deck. He has better cards than us in the long run. He can outvalue us. He can totally take over the game if we give him enough time. We do not want to give him enough time. We just want to kill him as quickly as possible, and that's what the deck's supposed to do. So luckily, we main deck both of those Warhorn Blasts. And I haven't had a game where I didn't get mana screwed so far, but I still think we have to play a 16-lander, given given how our creatures can die really quickly, and then just drawing lands is not good in the late game. We really need to, like, develop the board and just pump and just kill the opponent in one single hit. So luckily, we managed to get that one, and yeah, currently 3-0. Surprisingly, this is still a crappy seal pool. It's by no means amazing. This isn't the perfect green-white go wide deck. We still don't have Maha, Bredagar Protector, our Mythic Uncommon at 5. We still don't have Fall of the Imposter at 3. We still don't have the Battlefield Raptors, which are definitely better 1-drops, I think, than the Usher Defallens. Because the Ushers, sure, they can maybe get in for 2 on turn 1, but they're worse in the late game. So, yeah, I think we just maybe hopefully get our 4th win. But this is by no means any great pool. It's a pretty crappy pool. But we just got lucky. The first 2 opponents the second opponent had a good deck. The first opponent just gave us like free hits, even though he could have stabilized. The second opponent was missing his colors. The third opponent, this one, went 4 colors, had better cards, but we just killed him quickly, and he didn't have the board wipe. So yeah, we're definitely playing first. And can we have our Mythic 1-drop? There we go. Yeah, we're keeping this. Although it's not amazing, but I do like the Usher on 1. Unfortunately, I won't be able, unless I pick up a tap land, I won't be able to boast this. But I think it's still fine getting in for 2. This is again, these are the type of games where we just want to get in as much damage as possible. So we missed our land drop. Next turn, what we're going to do, we might have to foretell this. Although I do want to Seek a Chariot on 4. But, yeah, at least if we top deck a land. So now what do we want to do? I could just boast, honestly. I think we boast. Yeah, we just boast here, and then we'll keep a Snakeskin Veil. Because honestly, I don't care about foretelling this. I'm playing this on 4 anyway, so even if I foretell God's Hope Guardian, like, I'm still casting this on 4, it doesn't matter. I do want to foretell the Warhorn Blast, but, like, just getting nice value here is great. So we're definitely attacking, and then we're going to cast the Chariot. And then the game will soon be over once we cast King Herald's Revenge and go super wide and kill the opponent with our cat tokens. So some sort of, like, is this Bant? Am I dumb? Yeah, this is Bant. So I'm hoping he taps out here so we can King Herald's Revenge and completely blow him out. And hopefully there's no sweepers. I know there's a Doomscar, which is at 5 mana, but it is double white. Valkyrie, wow, he's spending all his mana to cast Valkyrie. Yeah, he's going to be so screwed here. We even have Valor to Worthy to get in the extra point of damage. Do we even care? That's the thing. I do want to make a token, and he can't really block effectively. Do I want to King... What happens if I King Heralds? So, I'm definitely crewing these 2. So how many creatures is this? 1... So 5, this is going to be a 9/9. This is going to trample over... this is going to trample over for 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, and then I can also Valor to Worthy on one of my creatures too, like the 1/1. Or the Chariot. Although the enchantment will fall off. I mean, at least if he has a board wipe, like, I still get a 1/1 token, so I think this is a play. This is absolutely insane. He has to block this. I can make a 2/2 token and then kill him on the way back. So he's gonna block this. This is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's gonna fall down to 2. So yeah, this is not the game where he really wants to, like, not have anything to play on turn 1. And now if he wipes the board with a Doomscar, I can still, like, make a 1/1 and then a Chariot is still here. So I should be able to kill him even with a Snakeskin Veil. So he's basically dead here. There's nothing he can do. So I guess our deck has synergy, although not the most amazing deck. Like, it can steal games like this, which is what you want to do in a seal pull when stuff like this happen. Now that I saw the Stalwart Valkyrie, I might consider sideboarding a card in. Didn't see a ton of removal, so I could consider cutting the Snakeskin Veil. Yeah, I think in his color combination, I might want a Broken Wings in this matchup, because I did see one flyer. Although, we don't care about the flyers too much, right? The God's Hall Guardian is really not looking great. Like, I don't really want to cast a 6 mana, like, 3/6 in this matchup. So I guess I'll cut it and throw in a Broken Wings. And hopefully we have enough stuff to get through. Because really, like, I don't want to play, like, a 6 mana 3/6 in a 16 land deck that you can't even cast it. You rather just play the Chariot on turn 4. Now he's probably going to side in, like, Enchantment Artifact Hate. So this is an example of a seal where you don't, like, you know, it's a crappy seal, but you have to play along with it. You know, I love Pac-Man on turn 3. And we can always Cold Spell Cleric, put a counter onto it. So I guess we'll try it. He's also we're on the draw. I mean, this is not that bad, honestly. We'll say go. Next turn we can foretell this. And I might as well just cast it on curve, honestly. Have the Cold Spell Cleric up. Is that mean? I mean, not mean. Is that wrong? We do get a 3/3 right away. I mean, we do have a curve going, so maybe that's wrong. But I can't make this into like a 4/4 next turn, which can apply a lot of pressure. Otherwise, the Goldvein pick is a much more conservative option. No, we don't want to do the conservative option. I could also forgo it, play battle, and then keep up Snakeskin Veil on it. I don't know how much removal he's running. I don't care about this. Yeah, he could have removal. Actually, I could just play Horizon Seeker instead. I mean, and then eventually play Serval's Packmates. I mean, the Cold Spell Cleric is also not that bad, honestly. We can also just do that next turn. Sure, why not? Let's Horizon Seeker, and next turn I guess we can Cold Spell Cleric onto this. And then, keep up Snakeskin Veil, not sure. There's no reason to block. I'm not blocking. I'm the aggressor, not him. But if he thinks he can race me, that's fine. He could. Maybe he's a much more aggressive deck because he's also maining white. But this is also a 5-color Shenanigans deck, so if he has Swamp in the World Tree, then he can gain a huge advantage over this. But we'll see. Next turn I can, like, play Goldvein Pick into Cold Spell Cleric and keep up Snakeskin Veil. And that can be pretty fun. Do I want to do that, though? I could offer to trade, which I don't mind. Alternatively, Pac-Mate is pretty good, too. You know what? Let's offer to trade. I don't think I'm boasting, though. I can boast, get green, play the Pac-Mate. Which is also not that bad. Do I want value here? Because if I'm not doing this, I guess I'm playing the Pac-Mate. What else am I doing? Playing the Goldvein pick? Nah, let's just boast. Let's get our green mana sorted out. And then now I'm going to cast the Pac-Mate. At least this thins out the deck. I'm running a 16 lander, so the less lands in my deck, the better now. Because now I can play everything. Now Broken Wings can answer the 3/2. Awesome. So, not a bad mana efficient turn. We got in for 3, which is nice. Which is what you want to do on turn 3. So, like, I could, like, turn 3, play the Pac-Mate, drew a card. Okay, that's a good one. I guess there's no snow. Okay, he does have a snow land. Now the question is, I can Cold Spell Cleric and trade for this 4/4 too. So what can I do? I guess I can play land. I do want to take this out this turn, so yeah, I think I'll do it. I'll just kill this. It's pretty annoying. Play the Cold Spell Cleric. Attack for 4. The 4 is really important. And I can even chump the 4/4 here. If he wants to block and trade, that's fine. Sure. I'll chump it. Keep up Snakeskin Veil to protect my other creatures. Chump the 4/4, swing back. Should be okay. This can also make chump blockers, that's fine. If he wants to equip on the Guardian Gladewalker, that's fine. Sure, he has all the mana in the world already, so I don't care. I'm chumping the 4/4. He's keeping back on defense. Pretty smart. Okay, sure. I guess now I can put the Kaldheim pick on a 3/3 and attack with both and still have mana up. Okay, let's do that. I guess I can use 1 green mana now, and then I can attack with both. And this is 8 damage, which is a lot. The question is, do I even use the hexproof trick here? He doesn't seem to have removal. I guess this is fine, because if I use Snakeskin Veil, it'll die. So. And now I'll use the battle here. And I'll have Snakeskin Veil up, so that's pretty cool. Not moving the pick. Definitely not. I can even chump with the 1/1 here. I mean, he's probably flooding here. I guess that's annoying. Sure. Might have to use Snakeskin Veil to trade that off them. He's now, that's a 6/5. I'll take the 3. I mean, I could chump it. Does every creature matter in this matchup? I don't know. It could. Actually, I'll take it, so that maybe I can swing with all. Because at this point, I think I need to swing with all in order to win. I guess if he has the single Kaldheim pick, he wins here. Because he can just attach it, so maybe that was a misplay. Yeah, maybe I should have chumped it here. That was a bad attack. Yeah, that's a bad attack. Okay, never mind. Alright, you got the first one. That was a bad attack. I mean, that was a bad non-block. I should have blocked it easily. Then I can maybe buy 1 more turn. But now I definitely see myself having the second Broken Wings, and then yeah, it still seems like the whatchamacallit, the cat is still bad. The 3/6, the 3/6 doesn't seem to accomplish much. In that matchup though, we had it's not gonna line. Who cares about the Bergstrider? I mean, the 3/6 still can't. The 4/4 can still block the 3/6. So, but Broken Wings is now looking better now. But now I know not to use it on a single flyer, but to save it for maybe his weapon. Or something. Okay, we have a turn 1 Usher. I think I'll just play the turn 1 Usher. Just want to get into 2 damage ASAP, even though we could play this tapped. The 2 mana does matter. We'll play it out. Don't know if I want to boast, though. Probably don't want to, so then I can play Doomscar Oracle on turn 3. Yeah, we don't want to. Let's get in for 2. This is just more mana efficient. Because this can punish us here if we don't just curve out here. But the 2 damage is already like adding up if he doesn't do anything here. Could play the Guardian Gladewalker next turn. Well, nothing? Did he keep a 1-lander? Is this another opponent who keeps a 1-lander? You don't do that. It doesn't matter if you're like on a draw. Okay, it's not a 1-lander. I'm willing to trade here, honestly, and just throw in a Doomscar Oracle. But if he has nothing to play, that's even better. We can get him for 16. If he wants to foretell, that's fine. We can play Doomscar, start applying even more pressure. Okay. I'm definitely trading here. There's no reason not to. Yeah, let's just move the combat attack. I'm not going to boast. A 1/1 doesn't do anything here. I think, like, I could make a 1/1, but it's just so bad because I'm already curving out. 3-drop and 4-drop. A 3/2 is better than a 1/1 with Snakeskin Veil up. Come on. And at least now the 3/2 can then... Now we got this Guardian Gladewalker. There's no 2/2 in the way of this 3/2. And now his Warhorn Blast is looking good with the go wide synergies. But we just need to make sure we get there. Now this card is annoying, don't get me wrong. I mean, I could attack Snakeskin Veil. Maybe I just attack and offer to trade. I mean, he's stuck on 2, so if he's missing his land drops, then I can just play this out and constantly attack. I mean, this is essentially just the Doomscar Oracle with an extra 1/1, so... Let's hopefully hope he misses his land drop, and now I can just attack him for 4 per turn, but he gets his land drop, obviously. So, I mean, the opponent kept a pretty defensive opening hand. Good for him. Okay, now nothing, so that's a good sign. Now we can attack, keep up Snakeskin Veil. We can play 1-drop, foretell, keep up Snakeskin Veil. Could see a mist here. No mist. No need to do anything. Play out the Usher. And we'll tap both of these, keep up the Snakeskin Veil foretell. It's probably counterspell. And then we can eventually cast this and blow him out. 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can put him down to 2 next turn. We have nothing. Probably see a removal spell here. Let's put a counter here. Give it hexproof. I really don't want to fall back behind. And now this makes it better. The Warhorn Blast. We can just get in for a shit ton of damage. So this is 5, 10. So we can put him down to 1 if he has nothing. Well, of course he has Finn, so that's even more annoying. Do I have attack? Do I attack? I think I have to here. Let's just get in. And I'm hoping he makes the conservative block so then we can blow him out. But he doesn't. So maybe this is a good time to just boast here. So yeah, there's no reason to activate the Warhorn. We just want to get some value. Trade for Finn. And then foretell another Warhorn Blast. But this is a very defensive hand that he has. Like, Depart the Realm, triple 2 drops, which is correct to be sideboarding against like a deck like ours. I mean, not sideboard, maybe sideboard, but still, maybe he threw in a second Guardian Blade Walker. Well, the rest of these other cards are definitely main deckable. Now this card is not that amazing though, so now the Warhorn Blast is looking good. I can't cast double Warhorn Blast, but I'll just attack and then activate the Warhorn Blast when he blocks. And I shouldn't get punished here. There's no wild mana trick. This will put him down to 2 effectively, and then I can use a second Warhorn Blast to finish him off. Yeah. This is what our deck is trying to do. Yeah. And wow, that was a 4-0, 5-0. I mean, even with a bad seal pool, sometimes you just gotta make it happen, guys. Sometimes you're not lucky to open up Immersturm Raider, and sometimes you don't play the insane Jund deck with a million removal spells and board wipes. And sometimes you don't have the most amazing Boros aggro deck, Black-Red Berserkers deck. Sometimes you don't have the most amazing Blue-Red Giants deck, or, you know, Sultai Snow deck. But sometimes you just gotta make it happen, you know. Green-White is also not an amazing archetype in this set. Green wants to be pretty defensive and grindy. It's not looking to generate tokens and go wide unless you open up our bomb rare, the Asika's Chariot. White's the one that's mainly trying to go wide and do the whole dumb tokens thing. Green is just trying to be defensive, and we've made it happen. That's why, you know, Green-White, I think, is not a very good archetype unless you can open up cards like Maha, Predacard Protector. Yeah, I think you really need Maha to really make Green-White work. But sometimes you can just steal games. Like, this is what the deck is trying to do. So, just an overview of the deck. I know we just did a draft portion. So yeah, we have this card's. I think this is sideboardable. If you guys want to sideboard something out for like the Broken Wings, in case you're seeing lots of flyers and artifacts, enchantments, I think you sideboard a God's Hall Guardian, because 6 mana is a lot. I know you can foretell this for 2, but remember the total cost is 6 mana. That is going to take a while because you do need to delay a turn and get the 4 mana just to cast this. And this is a 16 land deck, so you are running kind of like a lower than average land count in the limited pool. So I can easily see cutting the God's Hall Guardian for like a Broken Wings, but I'm main decking this because we already have Masked Vandal that can deal with artifacts and enchantments. And not all decks are going to have lots of flyers. For example, the green decks, if you're facing like green-black or green-red, Broken Wings is a terrible card. But against like a white-blue deck or white or blue deck, like this is definitely pretty serviceable. But yeah, overall, pretty solid pool. We have 1 Snakeskin Veil to protect our creatures, which did come out once, like the last game. Golden Pig is not an amazing card, but still an equipment that can maybe enhance one of our flyers. Has some decent synergy and discount. Can maybe help us ramp, which I don't think it's too relevant in an aggro deck, but still the +1/+1 is good because the creatures are pretty small in the set, so even just giving your creature +1/+1 can be a huge bonus. So Golden Pick, pretty much an overperformer too. Valor is not a great card, but we're just playing it because it can make a token when it dies, which can be pretty relevant if you need the extra token to like fly across. And also, we're also playing like cards that also benefit us for playing lots of tokens, such as the Batter Shield Warrior, which pumps your whole team, King Herald's Revenge, which can give your creature +1/+1 for each creature, so the more tokens we have, the more it gets larger. And then the double Warhorn Blast. But overall, this is the curve. A decent amount of early game, some good mid game here. The late game is pretty lackluster, other than maybe the double Master Skull, getting back Asika's Chariot, and the Battle for Predacard. We did like have one game each, where we got back the Asika's Chariot and also the Battle for Bredagard, both of them which we both won. And then we're also playing like an Arctic Snowland and a Bredagard Stronghold. So yeah, guys, just because your pool sucks, I mean, I know it's counterintuitive. I just stated that I hate sealed, and I mean, I don't like sealed as much as draft. But like sometimes, you know, just play through your outs. You know, even if your pool sucks, make a use the crappy cards you got and make the best deck possible. And even if it's medium, sometimes you just win games. Of course, not against every player, not against a player with not a broken pool, not against a player with a not against a very good player with a very good pool, and not against a player with, you know, that has like, yeah, like maybe the player has like the same power level as your pool, but is a better player and they still beat you. But I mean, but regardless, like just do your best. Do your best, guys. And remember to always consider the artifact and enchantment hate as sideboard stuff for like your game 2 or 3. So yeah, if you can't go 5 colors, don't be afraid to go 2 or even 3 colors. I mean, don't be afraid of just going 2 colors straight forward. Not wasting your time with the 3rd color, and just draft a 2 color beatdown deck. It's nothing wrong with that. I mean, everyone says the 3 color snow decks and the 3 color Jund decks are the best. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with just going 2 colors and getting lucky. And this is the example of a draft that played 2 colors and just got really lucky. So there you guys have it. Enjoy this sealed video. I know it's not the best. There's probably more content out there that's way better than mine. I'm just saying a bunch of random stuff sometimes, but this is just an example of like a sealed, again, that's not amazing, but managed to get there. So we will think I'll crack some packs, and then we will pretend we are drafting Kaldheim, because usually on my channel I don't really do sealed. I really just do draft videos. So let's pretend we're drafting Kaldheim Limited. Let's see what we open. Pack 1, pick 1. 6 packs. Opening pack. Yeah, Reckless Crew's bad. There's not enough. Like, this is worse than the 4 mana that makes 2/2s, 2x2/1s, because at least that doesn't require you to have at least vehicles and equipment, and you're not going to play like more than like 2 vehicles or 2 equipments in your deck just for this. This is a terrible rare to open. The best card in this pack is like Dwarven Hammer, that keeps you a single color. Herald is also good, but Green Black Elves is not a good archetype unless you can really like get all the rares and the uncommons, and that's really difficult. Black is also not the best color in this set. But Dwarven Hammer is excellent. It's great, best in aggro, but you can still play this in like a mid-range deck. Like, you can still equip this into like a 6/6 Limworm, and just having +3/+1 trample, that's pretty insane, so it doesn't get chump blocked all day. So this card is pretty good. Like, it makes a 5/1, and then just gives you trample so it turns all your creatures into a potential threat. Raider Scarf is also an overperformer. Don't sleep on this card. A lot of people ignore this card, but if you have a lot of 3-power creatures, like a 4/4 is very good in this format. Like I've stated previously, a lot of creatures in this set tend to be small, so just having a 4/4 body to block and attack with is quite nice. And sometimes, like, just getting the trigger and just hitting a land is really, really nice. So then it prevents you from, like, flooding or, like missing, like, an important card you could have drawn into if you wouldn't have draw the land. So Raider's Carve is definitely an overperformer. Don't sleep on this. I'm willing to play this in an aggro in a mid-range deck too. I mean, I wouldn't play if I don't have a lot of 3 power, of course, but I will. I mean, I might even take Basalt Ravager over Bloodsire. Like, this card is decent. I don't think it's super amazing. Just because you boast doesn't... I mean, it's better, of course, in the late game, because the more you flood in the late game, the worse, and boasting and finding a card and putting on top is almost like drawing a card. But if you play this early and you boast, like, who knows, the card that you had on top in early was probably still a good card anyways. So, yeah, I mean, Bloodsire is not a bad card. Like, it's not wrong first picking it, but I don't think it's that amazing. Black is also the worst color in this set. Like, yeah, and 2 mana to activate is not something to scoff at. I think the Basalt Ravager is insane. This card is just like a Flame Tongue Kavu. even if you aren't doing Giants and Wizards, which this is going to be at its best in, in some sort of red-blue deck. You can still draft a ton of Berserkers, draft a ton of Warriors, and, this can usually, deal 2 or 3 damage. And, 2 is not amazing, but 3 or more is pretty insane. So this card is really good, and I would probably first pick this card. It's just amazing on tempo, it kills something, and the 4/2 body can usually trade for something well. So yeah, this card's great. Run Amok's also an overperformer in the aggro decks. This card's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty hard to get going, and the 4-mana 2/2 is not what you want to play in this set without an indestructible ability or some way to protect it. Doomscar is a pick here. Yeah, none of these commons are amazing. I mean, maybe you want to splash red for a Highland Forest. That's pretty decent, but Doomscar is just insane. Of course, white wants to be aggressive in this set, but there's some controlling white decks, like the white-black deck and the white-blue decks. They tend to be more controlling because they're trying to win the air with flyers, and just having the ability to wipe the board and just play flyers out the following turn is really powerful. So I'm not against board wipes in white in this set. I think it's pretty reasonable, and it's just a nice emergency button. I wouldn't play this in a red-white aggro deck, or a white-green go wide deck because it's common nombo, but in the white-blue deck, in the white-black deck, where you're you're looking to stall the ground, play flyers to close out the game, and you're a little bit more defensive, the Doomscar makes a lot of sense. So this card's really good. Cole is an underperformer. Even in a white-red aggro deck, I don't even like that card that much. Fall's pretty good. You can splash for this. It does take a while to get going, so keep that in mind. It's not the easiest to get to, but when you can curve out with a creature, with Fall the Imposter, it's pretty good. You can turn 2, and then Fall the Imposter on turn 3, then this card is just insane. However, if you're just casting this to maybe remove a creature right away, it's not good. So this is only a good card if you're again, you're ahead in tempo. You're able to play your 2-drop right away, put a counter onto the creature. Then you don't mind, if you exile something that's not even that great on Chapter 3, and if the opponent plays around it. But if you're just playing this just as a removal spell, don't count on it, because the opponent can easily play around it. And if you don't have any creatures, Fall the Imposter is not that good. So keep that in mind. But definitely a card I like playing straight up in the white-green deck. I don't know about splashing this, but could be reasonable, but again, better if you just play this straight up on turn 3, turn 2, play your 2-drop, turn 3, play Fall the Imposter, and then, then your tempo will just be amazing, They'll be down a creature, you have a large creature on the battlefield. This card is pretty good. Kaldheim is also excellent. Again, black is the worst color, but, I mean, this is still a very good card. 5 mana, make a 4/4 menace, and then you can move the equipment around, turn all your creatures into potential threats in the future, just like the Dwarven Hammer, but instead you gain +2/+2 menace. This card is really good. I would probably still first pick this, even though it's the worst color. Still keeps me in single color. And black-red is a pretty decent archetype too. I'm a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of blue-black snow. I'm not a big fan of black-green elves. But sometimes you just have to force yourself into the colors. I mean, white-black has also been, a lot of people have been saying it's pretty bad, but I do like the white-black Angels deck. It's pretty fun. Ice Tunnel is also a nice land to pick up because it's in the Sultai colors. The snow lands usually want to be in the Sultai colors, so one can see the argument of just taking the Ice Tunnel and then just forcing the Sultai snow deck. So this is also a good first pick, but I'll still probably take the Kaldheim because I'm not sure if I want to fight over the snow deck. Since it's a pretty popular archetype that lots of people like to do. Lots of people like to go 4 or 5 color snow in this deck. Easy Goldspan Dragon, this card's insane. Even if you don't connect, you can still make a token. And hey, if this becomes a target of a spell, you still create a treasure token. So this is a pretty good card. Keep that in mind. Giant's Amulet is also excellent. Same with the Icebind Pillar, but again, this is a build around. You need a decent amount of snow to get this going. At least 1 snow land, but you still have to tap the snow land. Sometimes you need the snow land to maybe cast a spell. So I would still recommend maybe having a decent amount of snow in your deck before considering the Icebind Pillar, or if you want to force snow. But easy Goldspan Dragon, but I'll still take Amulet over the Pillar since it's a 4/5 hexproof unless it's untapped. Unless it's untapped. So keep that in mind. The final text states that it's only hexproof if it's untapped. So it doesn't give permanent hexproof unless the creature is untapped and has vigilance. Radicate Valkyrie, yeah, excellent card. Worst color, but I'll still first pick this card. Yeah, this card's great if you have lots of sack fodders and Disciples. This card is pretty amazing. Of course, it dies to Demon Bolt, even though it says hexproof from Planeswalkers. It's not hexproof from like fight spells. It's not hexproof from Demon Bolts. But hey, the Flying Lifelink 4/3, count me in. That can make the opponent like sack things. Count me in. This is pretty good. Struggle for Skemhar, pretty good too. Shadow Mage, good in black-red Berserkers, good in black-green Elves, good in black-white Clerics. This card is pretty decent all around, but I'll still probably take Struggle and Eradicator Valkyrie over it. But I'll probably